This is Gigi reading from FoodWISE, and I choose to begin now, still in the introduction, with the FoodWISE guidelines, and I'll introduce them, but talk about them more in another video, so I can mention two interesting newspaper articles. FoodWISE is really an attitude. Be a little feisty, be a little demanding. Look out for your own welfare. Learn about foods, think about foods, make your own decisions. Everyone can do it. Not all of us can grow a lot of our own food. Not everyone can buy organic vegetables at a local farmer's market. But everyone can take more conscious control of what food we put into our bodies, even if that means simply cutting down on constant snacking. Everyone eats. Everyone already decides what food to buy and how to prepare it. So what follows are guidelines, admittedly based on my own food journeys, to make thoughtful decisions that inevitably affect not only our personal world, which I discuss in part 2 of the book, but also our shared world, discussed in part 1, where all our food comes from. Because I sprinkle these guidelines throughout the book to help you, the reader, in making your FoodWISE food decisions, I have subtitled the book a guide. FoodWISE guidelines can be used whatever the venue, whether shopping at box stores, local bodegas, or the farmer's market, and whatever the range of food available. But keep in mind that the guidelines are meant to be advisory and helpful, definitely not prescriptive. So much of this book argues against dogma, against simplistic thinking. Think things through yourself, make up your own mind, and please do it thoughtfully, and take advantage of the wealth of reasonable information available. FoodWISE also is about experiential learning that expands our understanding of the entire food system, from start to finish, from seed to, well, us. By food system, we mean, in food writer Julie Guthman's words, the entire array of ideas, institutions, and policies that affect how food is produced, distributed, and consumed. That's a pretty big array, including everything from the science behind nutrition to government policies promoting corn, biofuels, or what I call threads of the agricultural web. This encompasses all types and scales of producers and the producing, processing, transporting, storing, buying, selling, preparing, serving, and eating that goes along with food. Then there are waste management activities like composting, food scraps, or landfilling. The agricultural web is fundamentally an economic system dependent on and affecting natural ecosystems. And as Paul Roberts writes in The End of Food, there are economic winners and losers. Instability arises. Some players fall by the wayside. Economics and biology affect what food is available. Market Doritos well, and suddenly every farmer wants to grow corn. Make a change in the innate pest resistance of a crop plant, and choices in farming will shift. Each of these shifts is a tug on a single thread, yet the whole web moves. So I have included in the description of this video 2 links, one to the Seattle Times, to an interesting article talking about numbers of people in the state of Washington needing food assistance, and they are doubling. And so those numbers are presented in the article, together with a new food relief fund, kind of a very centralized food relief fund that the central administration is putting money into and asking for donations for. So that is an important article. Regarding food trends, and really something I address in FoodWISE, there is an article from the New York Times talking about people going back to the foods of their childhood, to comfort foods, to processed foods, to convenience foods, and claiming that this is result of fear and uncertainty and poor access to, or limited access to food in this age of coronavirus. And maybe, so maybe there's that emotional eating, which is to be expected. But I also think it's as much a part of challenges we have in shopping anyway, and in cooking anyway, and in eating and dining with others or dining alone. And those are some of the challenges that I talk about in FoodWISE.